Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another horror reaction video. Today, I'll be reacting to 4 disturbing true catfish horror stories created by Mr. Nightmare. Original video in the description. Let's get straight into it and try not to get scared. Let's go. Oh my goodness. What a fast intro. Story 1, created by Albert Frost. Hold on, is his brother Jack Frost?
I matched with this woman on Bumble last spring, and to this day, I still don't know who I actually met that night.
You guys
Her
are...
name on the app was Rachel. She looked normal in her
Dark Knight?
pictures, nothing crazy or overly edited. Just a cute brunette who worked in marketing and liked hiking.
Shout out all the
We talked
brown
for
hair
a few
girls.
days, and she seemed down to earth. No weird messages or vibes. She didn't push for anything, and she actually wanted to go slow. Honestly, it felt refreshing compared to the other matches. After about a week of talking, we agreed to meet up for dinner on a Wednesday night.
This nigga in New
She
York? What
picked
the
a
hell?
restaurant in a quiet part of town, a little nicer than the places I usually go, but nothing too
Ain't that the
crazy.
World Trade Center?
When I
The
got
new
there,
one, not the
I
old
texted her
one.
that I parked. She didn't answer. I waited at the entrance, checking my phone every couple minutes. 10 minutes went by, then 20. I thought maybe she got stuck in traffic. I messaged again, saying I was inside by the hostess stand. I started getting a little embarrassed. It looked like I was getting stood up. The hostess asked
Relatable.
if I
I've been
wanted
stood
a
up so many
table.
times,
I
bro.
told her I
Just
was
got taken
waiting
on the
for
chin.
someone. She told me no one under the name Rachel had checked in. Now 30 minutes passed,
And
and
get
I was
drunk.
about to leave when a guy came in and walked straight up to me. He was maybe mid-40s, scruffy, kind of heavy, wearing a black hoodie. He asked me if I was Jake. My name wasn't on the reservation, so it caught me
Weird
off guard.
shit.
I told him yes, and he said he was Rachel's brother. He told me Rachel wasn't feeling well, but she still wanted to meet me, and she asked him to pick me up and bring me to their place.
Okay. Okay. First off, when it comes to, because I know certain dating apps, like I know Hinge and Twitter, they have it to where you're able to verify your photos. Basically, you either take a picture of your driver's license or some form of identification, and then you upload it to the app, and then you take a picture of yourself so that they can confirm that you're real. So then you have the verification mark. I don't know if that's the same case with Bumble. So I wonder if he matched with her. Did he have did she have the verification? And then this situation, let's see what he does.
It was really close, and she didn't want to cancel. The whole thing already sounded weird, and I asked why she didn't text me that. He said she tried, but her phone died, and she didn't really want to bail on our date.
Wow.
His tone was calm and polite, and he didn't seem aggressive or anything.
What an
But
excuse.
this was just a little off. I asked where she lived, and he said just a few blocks over, and that driving would be easier because the sidewalks were icy. I stood there debating it.
Okay, yeah, this nigga must be retarded, because if you have to sit here and what would you guys do? You guys go and plan a date. Your date doesn't show up, but her so-called boyfriend or sibling shows up and be like, "Hey, nigga, she's sick, but you know she's at the pad. Let me drive you there. She still want to see you. And yeah. Hey, what do you say? Do you want to die or what? Shit, man. My fucking, I gotta weigh my options real quick.
Part of me felt like a jerk if I refused. Like maybe she really was sick and embarrassed. But the other part of me felt like nothing about this was normal.
This is a white
I
dude,
told him
definitely.
I was fine walking. I asked for the address. He said it would be better if he showed me. That's when something in my stomach told me not to go. I told him I'd rather reschedule, and I started walking toward the door. He stepped in front of me, not aggressively, but just enough to block my path. He said Rachel would be upset and that she specifically asked him to bring me.
That's when I
told
kick him in
to
his
text her
stomach and
later.
hit him with a stone cold
He stared
stunner.
at me for a few seconds, then stepped aside and said, "Have a good night," in a tone that sounded more like a warning than anything else. I left the restaurant fast and got into my car. I locked the doors immediately. As I pulled out of the parking space, I saw him standing outside the restaurant watching me. I drove away thinking that was the end of it, and maybe it was just some weird misunderstanding. Later that night, around 11 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was a message on Bumble from Rachel's profile. It said, "Why didn't you come?" I replied that her brother came to the restaurant and told me she was sick. She answered instantly, saying she didn't have a brother. All I could think was,
What?
I told her exactly what happened, and she stopped responding. I figured maybe she was freaked out too.
Nah, she playing games.
I tried
Fuck
to
out of
sleep
here.
after that, but around 1 a.m., I got a notification that someone was trying to log into my email, then my bank app, and then my Instagram. Minutes of each other. I changed my passwords and turned on every security feature I could. I didn't quite connect it to Rachel's situation at first. The next morning, I checked Bumble to see if she had replied, but her profile was gone.
Hacker, bro.
Completely deleted. Around noon, I got a text from an unknown number. It said, "You should have come with me." I showed the text to my roommate, and he told me to block the number and report it.
Facts.
I blocked it, but the messages didn't stop. New numbers kept texting me, different area codes. Each message was something.
Gotta get a new
short and
number
vague,
now.
Like, "We saw you. Next time, don't waste my time." And "You made it harder for yourself." At one point, a message came through that used my full name.
Wow.
Not the name I used on Bumble, my real legal name. I didn't answer any of them. That night, while I was home alone, someone knocked on my
Oh,
apartment
it's still
door.
going? Oh,
I
shit.
was on the couch, and I could not move. After a minute of silence, there was another knock. Harder this time. I thought about calling the police, but it had only been 2 knocks, and I didn't want to sound paranoid. I looked through the peephole. No one was there. The hallway was empty. I stepped back and waited. After a few seconds, I heard heavy footsteps walking down the stairs. The next day, I called the restaurant and asked if anyone matching that guy's description had a reservation or had checked in around the time I was there.
Wait, nigga, what was the
They
time
said no.
span between this?
I asked if anyone had been standing around outside looking in, maybe waiting for someone. The hostess told me one of their servers actually mentioned a man in a hoodie pacing back and forth outside for almost an hour before I arrived. She said they thought he was waiting for someone, but he never went inside until he walked directly up to me. I didn't tell her the rest. I felt sick thinking how long he had been watching the entrance. I reached out to the local police.
They're not gonna
and gave
do
them the number
nothing.
that had
Nothing
texted me
happens to
first.
you. Police don't do
They weren't
shit
able
unless
to
something
trace it to
happens to
anyone,
you.
And since no crime had
See,
technically
told
been
you.
committed, according to them, they couldn't do much. I deleted Bumble. I changed my phone number.
Rightfully
and
so.
I changed all my passwords.
Rightfully so.
Things were quiet for about a week. Then, one night when I was taking the trash out behind my apartment building, I found a folded piece of paper shoved under the handle of the dumpster. It had my name on it. I opened it. Inside was a printed photo of me from the night of the supposed date.
Beating your meat.
Me standing inside the restaurant lobby looking at my phone. The angle was from outside the window. Someone had watched me the entire time.
I always feel.
On the back of the photo, it said, "You."
Oh.
I couldn't sleep for days. I started staying at friends' houses. Every little sound made my heart jump. A few days later,
Little
I checked
bitch.
the dumpster again and found nothing. I became really hyper aware of my surroundings. Eventually, the messages and everything stopped. Or maybe they just stopped showing themselves to me. Maybe they were still watching. The only thing I know is that the person I met that night was not Rachel's brother.
Definitely
because
wasn't.
Rachel didn't exist. Someone made the entire profile from scratch. Someone created her just to lure somebody somewhere. Someone was expecting me to leave that restaurant with them. And the worst part is that I still don't know who he was.
Yeah, he was gonna
I have
definitely
not
take
been
your
on a
cheeks,
dating
bro.
app since. I feel like I was supposed to disappear that night, and the only reason I didn't was because I trusted my gut at the last second.
You shouldn't even have trusted your gut. I think that's not a last second decision to make. I think that's the first decision to make. And the thing is, it's going to get with this whole entire catfishing thing. I mean, I'll say this when it comes to catfishing before AI, I feel like you could tell if somebody's catfishing or bullshitting, because I've been catfished before, but there were some instances, I was super young, I didn't know, and then there were instances where I was like, okay, this nigga's definitely a catfish. But it's like now with the use of AI and how AI is evolving, catfishing is going to be really scary, because like I said, with that whole verification shit, I don't know how it is for Bumble, but I know with other dating apps that you could either have your account verified or not verified. And like if it's verified, that usually or truly means 95% of the time the person is real. I don't, and maybe AI is gonna play a big factor into that because you know how hackers and scammers be. They could do some shit and then use AI, and then all of a sudden now the profile has a verification. You know what I'm saying? And now you think it's an actual person because it has verification, and come to find out, it's a fucking 40-year-old fat bastard that lives in his mommy's basement that does nothing with his life and that just wants to take your cheeks, take that little buzz. Okay, story 2, created by Mike. What do you guys think about that video? That's really interesting. He should have looked through the peephole if he had a peephole who was knocking on the door. You know what I'm saying? And then you should have fucking John Wick that nigga and shot through the door. Anyways.
After turning 30 years old back in January,
Damn!
I started getting sick of being single. I hadn't been in a real relationship in several
What is
years,
this,
and I wanted
Missouri?
to get back out there. I had always resisted online dating, but I eventually decided to bite the bullet and download the dating app Hinge.
Speaking of which,
After a few days of using the app, I did end up with several matches, but none of them ever amounted to anything. One Monday night, I was chilling at home watching hockey when I got a phone
this is a white
notification
dude.
from Hinge.
Hockey's an underrated
Saying that I
sport.
had matched with a girl named Rebecca. Her profile looked legit. She had a photo of herself at her job, a short video of her and her friends at a bar shooting darts, a picture of her at an outdoor concert, and a regular selfie of just her face. I thought she was very attractive, so I messaged her.
What does she look like?
Before long, we were having a nice conversation about our respective jobs and hobbies. She seemed cool and normal, so I asked her if she wanted to meet at a local arcade bar that Friday.
She a beautiful black
She took
queen
a
or a
while to
spicy
respond,
Latina?
something like 4 hours. At about 1 a.m., she finally got back to me and agreed to the date. After our plans were set, I didn't hear from her at all for 4 days, until literally 30 minutes before our date. She sent a text that just said, "On my way," at our agreed upon
I
time.
don't even know how it went. Nigga,
Pulled
4
up to
days.
the bar and was immediately surprised by how slow the place looked. This was a Friday at 8 p.m., and this bar only had 2 cars in their parking lot. I pulled into a spot right by the front sign of the bar.
Wait, well, hold on. What time?
Really surprised by how slow the place looked. This was a Friday at 8 p.m., and this bar only had 2 cars in their parking lot.
Okay.
I pulled into a spot right by the front sign of the bar. Mere seconds after I put my car in park, I got a text from Rebecca saying that she was having car trouble and that she was parking on the other side of the bar. This immediately struck me as super suspicious, since the other side of the bar was nothing but a few dumpsters and a fence that separated the bar from the woods.
Hell no.
It didn't make any sense how she would even end up back there.
In my opinion, when it comes to dating, I'll
Tried
shut the
calling
fuck up
her,
and wait.
but after one ring, it went to voicemail. I hung up and immediately received another text from her that said, "Please just come around back and help with my car."
Hell no. What?
Alarms were going
Bitch,
off in
you
my
better
head,
call him
but I wasn't
Johnny on
immediately
the
sure
spot.
what to do. I sent her a text that just said, "This doesn't feel right. I'm leaving." I know that sounds a little dumb in retrospect, but I was seriously unsure of how to handle the situation. After sending her the text, I put my car in reverse and started leaving the parking lot. As soon as I was about to turn off the lot, 2 men in ski masks came running out from behind the bar straight towards my car. They didn't appear to be holding any kind of weapon, but I was definitely not going to wait around any longer to find out.
Hey guys, what are you guys doing? Why y'all rushing me? Oh shit!
Back to my apartment. Once I got back home, I noticed that there was a big dent on the top of my car's trunk, as if one of the guys had thrown a large rock at my car as I was speeding off. I didn't even notice a heavy object hitting my car. That's how scared I was in the moment. I called the police and told them the whole story.
Not gonna do nothing.
But at the end of the day, there wasn't much they could really do.
Police don't do their
They said they
fucking
would keep me
job.
posted if any leads came up, whatever that means. But I haven't heard back from them. Weirdly, this didn't totally scare me off dating apps, since I figured the odds of that happening again are very slim. Still, I'm much more careful.
You'd be
about
surprised.
meeting
There's
people off
some
of them,
sick
and
ass,
make sure to
wicked,
call
boring
or
people out
FaceTime
there.
women before meeting them.
And that's another tactic to use. When it comes to linking up, y'all gotta meet somewhere in public, bro. Always gotta be somewhere in public. Not that fucking at night I'll meet you in a parking lot, or I'll meet you somewhere where there's not much light, there's not a lot of people. Nah, nigga, on the first meetup, I'm gonna have to meet you somewhere in public. If you want to take them serious now, if you're talking about a sneaky link, hey, setup culture is real. Getting set up is real. It's not a joke. So if you want to, you know what I'm saying, you trying to get Mr. Nasty time, y'all gotta be smart about that, because bitches will set you up and niggas will catfish you and get you, like that story right there. Story 3, created by Marie. Oh, finally a woman. Yo, shout out all women out there. Women
I
power.
still remember that stretch of
Fuck men.
2024 like it was yesterday. Humid city nights, cramped condo living, and the constant hum of anxiety sitting in my chest
The
because
smell
the
of
board exam
anal
was
lube
only
on
a
the
few
streets.
months away. I was staying in a small condominium in the city with my 3 friends. All of
Oh, this
us
is
were
LA,
buried
what the hell?
in review materials, practice exams, and the occasional emotional
Nasty
breakdown
ass
disguised as a
downtown.
coffee break. And like every other stressed out 20-something stuck between obligation and burnout, I thought it would be a great idea to distract myself with someone new. That's when I met him. Let's call him Michael. I don't know if it was the boredom, the loneliness, or just the fact that I was tired of thinking about formulas, but I found him attractive right away. He was charming in the beginning. Calm, funny, the type of guy who replied fast, but not too fast. It was as if he mastered the perfect balance of interest and chill. We started talking every day, and then every night. And before I could fully process what I was doing, we were dating. Or at least something that felt like dating.
Did you FaceTime him?
Michael was, at first, everything a sane person would want. Respectful, attentive, a good conversationalist.
Cap, he's
We would
not
be on calls
toxic.
for
Women want
hours while I lay
toxicity.
on my thin condo mattress, staring at the ceiling and listening to his voice fill the room. The only weird thing was that he never showed his face during our calls. He claimed his phone had been stolen, and the laptop he was using didn't have a functioning camera. I didn't question it at first, but slowly, little red flags began popping up like notifications I kept swiping away. The biggest one? The way his tone changed whenever the topic got even remotely intimate. Out of nowhere, this man would ask me for explicit selfies every single time. I shut it down firmly every time. I wasn't comfortable with that, especially online. I told him that straight, but it was like talking to a dog in heat. No, scratch that. A dog in heat at least has the excuse of being an animal. This guy, he was worse, because he knew exactly what he was doing. We'd argue about it a lot. He'd push, I'd refuse.
Real quick, I know I keep pausing it. For the women out there, you know, real shit. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, then don't do it. All you have to say is like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. If they respectfully ask you, may I ask you why? Or you could just say, just because I just don't. You don't have to explain yourself. Fuck that, nigga. It is what it is. If they have an issue with it, don't talk to them. Men, women, vice versa. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, or you don't feel safe doing it, then don't do it. You don't have to explain yourself to any fucking body about it. If they ask you, just say, I just don't feel comfortable doing it. If they have a problem with it, then hey, I don't have to mess with you. That's real facts. They homies.
And he'd sulk. Sometimes he'd apologize. Sometimes he'd respect my boundaries. Only to ask again the next day like we didn't just fight about the same thing.
Weirdo.
The cycle became exhausting. And yet, despite all of that, I still wanted to meet him in person, to see if this connection was real, or if I was just romanticizing a voice on the other end of a screen. But every time, and I mean every time I suggested meeting up, he had an excuse.
Yeah, bro.
He had errands, he was busy, he didn't feel well, his schedule was full, he wasn't in the city, he had a family thing, he had an emergency, or the classic, soon. It was always soon.
This nigga manipulator like me.
And somewhere between the late night calls, the excuses, the constant sexual pressure, and the growing pit in my stomach, something in me began to shift. Something wasn't right with Michael, and I felt it, long before I admitted it. My friends had been warning me for weeks. Every time Michael dodged a meetup, every time he gave some vague excuse about his broken camera, every time he pushed for explicit photos but refused to show so much as half his face, my friends would exchange looks. Does he not show himself on video call at all? One of them asked one night while we were reviewing in the living room. Not even a quick flash of his face? Another added. I shrugged. His phone got stolen, I reminded them for maybe the 10th time that month, and his laptop camera is broken. They stared at me like I had just announced I believed in unicorns. Marie, come on, one of them said gently. If he really wanted to see you, he would find a way. Even a 10-year-old laptop has a camera. Something's off.
They're sugarcoating it. I would have straight out told her. I'm like, bro, that nigga is fake.
But I kept defending him. I kept telling myself he wouldn't call me every day if he wasn't serious. I kept insisting he was just going through something personal. I kept believing the version of the person he pretended to be. Then came December, weeks before Christmas, with that stupid mix of hope and denial swirling in my chest. I finally told him, "Come over, meet my family, spend Christmas with us."
Oh,
He sounded thrilled.
that's kind of extreme.
He said yes instantly, no hesitation or excuses. For the first time, I let myself believe that maybe everything would pay off in the end. I pictured a sweet Christmas morning introduction, a cheesy meet my boyfriend moment, a fresh start, maybe even something real. But the day before our meetup, everything shattered. I remember sitting on the condo couch reviewing flashcards when he called me. His breathing was shaky and uneven. At first, I thought he was just stressed. Then I realized he was crying.
Ew.
"Can we talk?"
A grown-ass man crying. Good old this
Something in me
fucking,
went cold.
this clown.
It took a while for him to choke it out. But when he
Pause.
finally did, the words hit me like a punch straight to the stomach. "I'm a catfish." My heart dropped. He confessed everything. The photos, fake, taken from an Indonesian influencer he'd been pretending to be. His name, fake. His work, fake. His nationality, he lied about everything. My head was spinning so hard, I thought I would throw up. I felt my skin crawl and my face drain of color. It was like he peeled off a mask I didn't even know he was wearing.
My gosh, the writing in this is
Then,
amazing.
Because apparently the universe wanted the moment to be even worse, he sent me a picture of his real
He
face.
ugly. Let me see him.
He claimed he didn't lie about being 24. But honestly, I've seen uncles in their late 30s who looked younger than him.
Wow.
In that moment, my brain connected all the dots. The way he pushed for explicit photos, the way he'd get sulky and aggressive when I refused, the way he'd avoid meeting up. Knowing what he really looked like, what he really was, made all his past behavior 10 times
No,
more
he's a
uncomfortable.
virgin. Like, come on now.
When I told him I wanted to break up, he snapped. He said, "So you're just like the other girls. You only liked me because of the pictures of the guy I used."
Who is
Never
this
cared
nigga?
about
Yeah, this nigga is a D1 gaslighter.
I was stunned. He lied to me, deceived me, manipulated me, yet somehow I became the villain. He ranted and I cried. He blamed me, then he apologized, and then he begged. He guilt-tripped, like a full cycle of emotional manipulation condensed into 30 minutes. And then came the most unhinged part of it all. He said, "Please just let me stay with your family on Christmas. I already told my parents I won't be home. I have nowhere else to go."
Nigga, you could
I
live
stared
on the
at my phone in
street.
disbelief. Absolutely not. I muted him. I ignored every message, blocked the numbers, refused to let his chaos bleed into my holiday. And I had a peaceful Christmas with my family, the kind of Christmas I needed.
A dry
If
ass
things had truly
chicken.
ended there, I wouldn't be writing this.
That shit dry
Because
as hell.
Michael didn't stay gone. He didn't accept the breakup. He didn't disappear quietly. And the worst part was still coming. For almost a year, life felt normal again. I focused on myself, my hobbies, and
Nigga,
my
a
friends.
year later.
Became active on Instagram again, something I had stopped doing while dealing with the emotional fallout of Michael's lies. I started posting selfies, little life updates, even some cosplay photos I was proud of. It felt good to exist online without feeling watched. But the one thing I forgot? Michael and I still followed each other. It didn't even cross my mind until it was too late.
Loser. You should have
One
checked
night,
that
after
shit.
posting a few stories, nothing dramatic, just a selfie and a behind the scenes of a new cosplay, I got a notification. One message request. Michael. He replied to my story. "Hey, how have you been?" Just reading his name made something cold crawl up my spine. I didn't open the message. I didn't even breathe for a second. I just locked my phone and tossed it aside, like the words would burn me if I looked at them for too long. I tried to ignore it, but the notifications kept coming.
Nigga, why did you block the
Every few
nigga?
hours, another message. Eventually, I got so sick
What's
of
wrong
it.
with this nigga,
I
bro?
opened our chat, and the moment I did, my entire body went cold. Because sitting there, sent just minutes earlier, was a photo of the front of our house. My parents weren't home. I felt like the air was being sucked out of my lungs. My fingers moved on
Oh,
instinct.
shit.
I locked all the doors in the house, ran upstairs, shut my bedroom door, and locked that too. Then I called the police. While I was on the phone, trying to speak without my voice cracking, I heard knocking. Pounding. He was outside and yelling my name.
With a big ass boom
He
box.
yelled, please,
That's
just
not
open
funny.
the door. We can talk. His voice was desperate and unhinged, a tone I had never heard before. I held my phone so tightly I thought it might crack. I crouched beside my bed, trying not to make a sound while the dispatcher kept me calm, step by step. We're on the way. Don't come out. Stay on the line. It felt like hours, even though it was probably just minutes. Thankfully, we lived close to a police station. I heard footsteps outside, an officer shouting, and then finally, silence. They arrested him. When they came to the door to check on me, I finally unlocked it, still shaking. The officer who talked to me had a serious look on his face. The officer told me he was holding a knife.
Weirdo. What's up
I had
with
to
these
grip the
niggas,
door
bro?
frame to stay upright. He came to my house with a knife. I didn't know if he meant to threaten me, or hurt himself, but none of the possibilities made me feel any better. They were all terrifying. Because of that, I had no choice but to tell my parents everything, every lie he told, and every red flag I ignored. They scolded me, of course, for trusting someone online, for hiding it from them, but underneath the worry and anger, they were relieved that I was alive. My mom hugged me like I came home from war. Thinking back on the words, he was holding a knife, still give me the chills.
Nigga, weirdo. I can't believe how many fucking... I mean, she's silly for entertaining that, bro. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, I'm not gonna talk to you. You can't show your face on camera. But, you know, it is... Still, that doesn't dismiss the fact that that nigga's a weirdo. There's a lot of weird people out here in this world, if y'all believe it or not. A lot of people who are weird and bored.
I've never been a big dating app guy. Maybe a little bit in college, but mostly Tinder when I was messing around. After that,
We back in NYC with it.
I didn't really know how to go out and flirt anymore. I didn't really.
You're not the Rizzler? This nigga don't got Riz.
I was on Tinder for a bit, just testing the waters as a freshly single guy for a bit,
So
and going out with my single friends a lot. But when it came time to start seriously dating again, the easy answer was, of course, a serious dating app. Hinge was the one everyone recommended for finding quality women looking to actually date. So I got on there, and I got a few matches in the first few days. One was a really pretty girl named Jenna. She was this short Italian-looking girl.
Wait, I thought he said Tinder in the beginning.
Tan skin, and she looked like she worked out. We seemed to hit it off immediately in the chat. After like 10 messages from both sides, she asked for my Instagram, saying she hates opening the Hinge app and would rather talk there. So I gave it to her, and moments later, I got a follow request from her account. Her username was JennaX1 with 3 A's or something like that. She had like 2,000 followers. She followed 200 people.
Okay, that seems trustworthy.
She had 2 posts.
She seemed like a
Both
bougie
posts
bitch.
were
Okay.
taking a selfie in the mirror, but she admittedly looked good. The posts got a lot of likes and comments. All thirsty-looking guys by the looks of it, though. She had a story up, and I clicked on it, and it was her at the gym taking a mirror selfie. Also looked good. She DM'd me right away, and we took the conversation from there.
Okay.
We continued talking about the same stuff we left off at. The gym, traveling, and we found that we related pretty well, and surprisingly, we agreed to meet for a spontaneous drink at a bar in town that night. She said she was in the same town as me, which was convenient, so we planned for 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's kind of late.
I knew the bar we were going to quite well, and I kind of knew the bartenders, so I decided to go a little early. The bar was slightly busy, but there were open bar stools at the bar, so I sat at one, seated away from people. It was like 8:50. The usual bartender came over and greeted me, and she gave me an espresso martini. I casually
what's
took
up
some
with this
sips
nigga?
and
He
DM'd
bougie
Jenna
with
that was
it.
there, but that she can take her time.
That's like a morning drink, though.
Then I went through her profile a little more. I went to her tagged pictures. There were none. I went through the comments again, and there truly was not a single comment from a female. It was all dudes. I hoped that wasn't a red flag that she got around.
Nah, I've never noticed that. That is a red flag. Come on, bro. A girl that has 2,000 followers and she posts and none of her comments is from a girl. That is a red flag. Holy shit, I never noticed that.
Around this time, a man sat down on the bar stool next to me and greeted me, saying, "How you doing?"
They all
I
bots.
nodded with a smile. I went back to looking at my phone, but the man next to me continued to engage in conversation. He asked if I come to this bar often
I
because
would
he
have told him I
recognized
do
me.
not like men. Please
This
stop
is when I
talking to
took a
me.
closer look at him. He was maybe like 38, just slightly gray, kind of overweight, and a patchy beard that he definitely should have shaved. I didn't recognize him at all, though. I told him, yeah, I come here once in a while. He then reached out his hand for a handshake and introduced himself as Rob. Oh, brother. I
Rob
thought to
Schneider.
myself, I wasn't in the mood for this. But I shook his hand and introduced myself as well. Around now, the bartender came over and said, finally decided to get a
That look
drink,
like a
I
little
see.
cool ass
To this
bar.
guy.
What is that, Hawaii?
He gave a weird, subtle laugh, but that kind of made me think for a bit. Was he already here? And he just came up to the bar to talk to me? I DM'd Jenna again, saying, help me, this weird guy I think is hitting on me, as a joke. But I realized my previous DM to her was left unseen. I asked her if she was on her way. Then I went back to looking at her profile, and I decided to check her following list. And I realized she didn't follow a single female.
All bots.
Only dudes.
Bots.
What kind of girl doesn't follow any of her girlfriends? This was weird. Was I catfished?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
annoying guy to
bro.
my right kept trying to talk to me. I had to tell him 1 second, please, as I tried calling Jenna through Instagram. She didn't pick up. It was past 9 o'clock, and it seemed like she was ghosting me, and I also just felt like this profile was fake now. I went to Hinge to find that her profile was gone, like I expected. Yup, I got catfished. I asked the bartender for the check, and then the Rob guy said, leaving already? Where are you from?
God
said,
damn,
yeah, I
nigga,
gotta
on
get
my
going.
nuts.
I didn't care to explain the situation to this guy. To be honest, I was kind of annoyed at how outwardly he went out of his way to talk to me. As I got the check, this guy would still keep trying to talk to me, even telling me I should stick around and that the hot chicks come around this time. I thought he was weird, and I was kind of just being short with him at this point. I may sound like a douche, but if you met the guy and experienced the way he approached, you'd have been annoyed
Man.
too.
Hold on, I'll say my
As I
lesson
said
for
bye
the
to
end.
bartender and turned to leave. I felt a tight grip on my left wrist suddenly.
Pause.
I turned to see the man had his hand wrapped around my wrist. I said, what the fuck are you doing? Loud enough for other people to notice and turn their heads. He started whispering to me and making a weird face. He said, I'm Jenna. I'm sorry. Please don't go. I felt disgusting, like I needed to take a shower. I felt like throwing up. I felt violated. I broke free of his grip and hurried out of the bar to my car. It was a quiet
I would have
drive
fired
home.
off on that nigga.
I
I
didn't
would.
play music. I didn't call anyone because I was still taking it in, and it
Pause.
felt embarrassing. When I got home, I collapsed into bed and stared at the ceiling for a bit, just absorbing what happened. I went to Instagram to go block the Jenna account, but it appeared he already blocked me, or he disabled the Instagram account entirely. This quickly became an experience I just wanted to put behind me. I turned on the TV and just tried to move on. I'd tell people tomorrow. And after I turned off the light is the part that made me hate having a bedroom on the first floor. There was an aggressively loud bang on my window.
That nigga
The
followed
blinds
you
were
home.
closed and I couldn't see to the other side. Instead of yelling who's there, I decided to stay quiet.
Real shit.
I watched the blinds in horror. And then there was a voice on the other side. A man's voice saying my name, Scott, over and over again. I refused to acknowledge it, but he knew I was in there. He could see the light of the TV. He might have followed me without me realizing. He just kept saying Scott. He had to have said it like 10 times before it stopped. I stayed in my bedroom the rest of the night, and the next morning, I lifted the blind to see this. A note on the other side of the glass
Wow.
saying, I'll be watching you.
Wow.
I didn't leave my apartment the rest of the weekend. I moved a few days
That's
later.
sickening. That was sickening. Key takeaways, you got to be careful the people that you interact, whether it be online or in person, because there are some sick ass people out there. I'm not saying everything's gonna be bad, but I'm saying you hope for the best, but also prepare for the worst, and you also got to be careful. There are some sick ass people in this world, as y'all can tell. That's one. Don't do something that you don't feel comfortable with doing, or you don't feel safe doing. And 2, 3, you don't have to explain yourself to nobody. And for, you know, you don't have to talk to nobody. I like, bro, there's a lot of situations out here where it's like somebody's talking to a person and then like they don't want to talk to that person, but they do it to not be rude. Bro, fuck that. If I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you. That's just real shit. Yeah, bro, you gotta be careful out here, because there's some weirdos out here in this world. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna end here. Once again, this is for Discovery True Catfish Short Stories, created by Mr. Nightmare. Original video being in the description. Comment down below you guys' thoughts on these stories. If you guys have any stories that you would like to share, you know, go ahead and do so. Whether it be you that you experience or somebody that you know experienced. And if you guys have any videos that I should react to, send the links in the description. Yeah, hope y'all enjoy this one. I'll see y'all in the next one. Grandson out.
Situation, I even, and all of, I'm the justice, and even, and all of, I'm the